And that is Game Time by Axion Ghost. Remember, pacifism will remain an ideal. War will remain a fact. Now, with that being said, interesting thing happened today. Very interesting. How's it going, Bolt Gun? How's it going, Val? How you guys doing in my little world? Right now, welcome to Kaisers Kastle. Today has been very relevant, and a lot of people don't even get why. For years, I've been telling people. First, I was proved right with James O'Keefe's thing on Twitter, where they were shadow banning, and they've been doing it on Facebook too, but in a different way. All the links are in the description, by the way, of this video. So you guys can see the different, if you have not looked at it already, which you probably have, because my people are smarter than the average bear. Tim Pool, Project Veritas, Mark Dice, Styx, Hexenhammer, 666, and America First with Sebastian Gorka. All covered this. And this is what I've been saying for years. Hey, Willie Burger, how's it going, brother? The interesting thing that I see right now is, oh, by the way, on the 26th, the same date that I had a video pulled down that I had Dr. Jim Fetzer on, I find it interesting that that was also the day, outstanding Bolt Gun. I find it very interesting that that was also the day of the first false flag in modernity that people always point to, the Reichstag fire. And that was something I neglected to mention. Planned on doing something over it, but now this took precedent. And I will do one on the Reichstag fire and false flags. I've done a few little things on it, but it really deserves more attention. Not I really reserve. That fact remains a needed thing to pay attention to so that you understand certain things, because that in modernity has been one of the major issues of this world, and a lot of people just don't look at it. Well, here's how I look at it. I've been saying since 2015, because I started watching on, everybody has a Facebook page. Have you noticed that your stuff, if you're conservative, right-wing, whatever you are, but you're not left-wing, you have less traffic. And it's not just videos, it's on your damn page. And when you see it, you're like, wow, this is a good thing. I don't know why nobody's hitting it like he used to. Well, it's proven out right now. Oh no, I'm looking right now. The Kim and Trump summit was good because nobody's launching bombs, launching rockets anymore. He said he would do that. But Trump, if you've read The Art of the Deal, Val, what you'll see is that Trump walked away from it. It's like any real estate agent would. If the deal's not good, I'm going to walk. And so it was a success. People will, it's only the MSM, which is a code word that they use to block you. Also, if you do lulls, L-U-L, instead of an S, a Z, if you say MSN, MSM, mainstream media, only done by conservatives. SJW, only done by conservatives. If you talk about the Overton window, only done by conservatives. They go by line and verse. And the proof is now in the pudding. The two idiots that were doing it, thank God for the whistleblower. Because there's been many whistleblowers. I knew a person back in 2015 telling me this is what was going on. This is reality, folks. And don't think that Facebook's the last one. I'm sure O'Keefe has another one about to drop on YouTube. I'm not going to get into why I think that, but I do believe this. Because that's what happens. Why do you think that a lot of you subscribe to stuff, just like I do. We all do it. And we enjoy what we subscribe to. But how many times have you gone to what you enjoy? And all of a sudden you realize, wow, I have not been getting any notifications on that. Wonder why that is. Well, your answer is coming up. I was right about Twitter. I've been right about Facebook. And when this comes out about YouTube, Google has some issues. And by the way, all these little things, they lied to us. You know, when you first signed in, first they wanted to do sell our information. Did they tell you that's what they wanted to do? Nah, they didn't do that. Did they tell you they were going to data mine? Did they tell you that they started out with Gilman Louis? Did they tell you that DARPA and the CIA give them seed money, along with the starter of PayPal? Wonder why PayPal's demonetizing people, even though he's no longer there, and they say he's right wing, right? Let's go back in time. Let's think about things. Like I say, let's take that 30,000-foot look. When you have, oh man, I hate being old. I just mind dumped his name. He was a homosexual. It doesn't matter on that. I mean, he is what he is, whatever. But, shoot, why am I mind dumping his name? He started PayPal. You guys can look it up. The name probably will come to me as we're doing this. But when you see this happening and you see everything that's going on, do you see how this is not a way to control speech? We all know it is, but it's coming out in documentation. So now, let me see. We have Jack Dorsey from Twitter lying to Congress. Mark Zuckerberg, you know, he was lying to Congress. He knew what his underlings were doing. He made excuses. Oh, there was this person and that person. Well, if you believe that, I got a bridge in Brooklyn to sell you. They all have left political leanings. And they'll say, oh, it's just the area. It's just the area where it's based out of. No, it's not. No, it's not. They specifically hire people like that. You had James Damore come out. You had this lady with Project Veritas come out. They confront Danny, whatever his name is, and the Japanese dude, whatever his name is. And all of a sudden, wow, they don't want to talk. And that's all I'm saying. They don't want to talk. Well, there's a reason they don't want to talk. Because they just stepped in it. And they know that old Zuck is not going to back them up. See, he just lied to Congress. Yeah, he's got money. He'll probably buy himself out of it. But the fact remains. What are they getting Roger Stone for? Wait, Paul Manafort. Oh, hold on. Who else did they get lying for? So this is where I hope President Trump takes this. It's time to really call DOJ and the FBI. And I'm hoping the new DOJ director understands this also. Because they wouldn't be getting away with it if we didn't have a bought and paid for DOJ and FBI. And I mean that literally. When you look at Andy McCabe's wife, who ran for Congresswoman in Virginia and getting all that PAC money from the Clintons. Oh, yeah, I know he's got the hook set, but I'm not a Q bot. I'm telling you what I know. Q has been disinformation for about going on 9 months to a year now. It's not what it started out to. And if you actually look back in time, just go down the Q things, you'll see how it's changed. You know, now they're constantly follow the plan. Yeah. There is no plan with Q now. I've said there was a hot civil war for a long time in the IC. And it always ends up, now think about this, you start making people not being allowed to speak, you make violence inevitable. So if you think that I'm lying to you, check it out. Look, the truth will always out. That's kind of like my thing that I say. Because it will. It's not going to lie. It'll come right out. And you guys will see it. But at this point, I'm telling you, there's much fuckery afoot in social media. And it's not going to stop. They've already said they're going to start increasing action once the elections come up again in 2020. Think about, they've dialed this back for the 2018 elections. Why do you think we now have a Democrat Congress? See what I'm saying? Do you see the dank memes? Yep, exactly. The peanut gallery has to give him some breathing room. Exactly, the MSM. But they're not, they're going after memes, ways of talking, ways that we all communicate. And everybody knows it's a lot of fun. But they're not going to do that. That's not what's going to happen. If you think the Mueller investigation is going to shut down, no, they're going to continue it to the next election cycle. Mark my words, or at least as close to it as they can. Unless, I'm trying to think of it, I think Burr, the DOJ director now, don't mind dumping his name, damn it. Anyways, when he comes out and shuts it down, which I hope he does, but I can't even guarantee that because there's political considerations they have to make. But this right now, what you're seeing is just much fuckery afoot, but it's getting exposed. So normies are getting red-pilled now. That's the key. The normies, regular folks like you and I, are getting red-pilled and seeing the disinformation and the troubles they're causing. That's what needs to happen. So people who are on the extremes, if they moderated their voices, they'd get more outreach. But they don't do that. They can't do that because then you're cucking. No, you're not cucking as long as you're saying the same thing. You can just word it differently. You don't have to be flamboyant and throw things out there. Like I stated, I listen to everything on the left and the right, on the extremes of both. That's how I gauge the temperature of the center. And you don't win elections from the far left or the far right. And you win them with the center. And hold on, somebody type some. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, Bolt Gun, but what I will say is that here's the way I look at it. The panic mode is on, Val. The way I look at it, Bolt Gun, is you know how I feel about certain things. And honestly, then you're feeding into the neo-progressives and honestly, some of the neocons' hands. Because it's about divide and conquer. So, there's an old saying. White men are nice until they're not. And it's not just white men. Americans are nice until they're not. But some groups have less of a resistance to doing something out of hand and stupid. That's what they're relying on. Notice the Proud Boys. Made up of all types of people, right? But they're a neo-Nazi group. Like how they throw this stuff out everywhere. They say they're alt-right. No, they're not alt-right. They're alt-light. But see, in the MSM, they'll lump everybody. Because then they can cause the needed friction. Remember what Obama said? Top down, bottom up, inside out. That's what they're doing. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't matter. I agree, Woolly Burger. There's no reason why not to walk out. It's like something from there was a movie back in the 80s called Off Limits, and it had Gregory Hines and Willem Dafoe in it. They were CID agents. And they get this one guy, he was suspected of killing all these prostitutes. Just giving you, for instance. And he's throwing, he's interviewing these Vietnamese and throwing them out the helicopter, right? If they're lying. Just to try to get the truth. Anyways, he looks at him and they tell him what he's accused of. He was a colonel. He says, if I stay in this helicopter, I did it. If I go out the door, I didn't. And he throws himself out the door. So either way, you're going to win if you put yourself out the door. But they still will want to kick your... Look, the way law enforcement's become so SWAT heavy, don't doubt that... Yep, you're exactly right, Bolt Gun. It's an easy trap to fall into. Give reasons for reactions. You're exactly right. But the easiest thing is you just walk out and say, hey, yeah, what's up? Let's talk. And a fish does rot from the head down, and it's been doing that for quite a while. And there's some issues, and I ain't got no tissues. I will stand, but I'll stand smartly, as all of everybody on my page should. It's not saying you stand for violence. You stand strong with your house, and you're very metered with your conversation. And there's sometimes you've heard me get into arguments on this page. I'm not going to lie to any of you guys. You've also heard me try to bring stuff back. It is what it is. I'm not going to be fraudulent to you. But what I will say is, at least, how's it going, Planet Wrong Gun? What I will say is just keep it cool. And, yep, if you're looking to there's an old saying that those who look to the heaven will not see the stone that will trip their feet. Bolt Gun. Same kind of thing. You can't keep your eye in the sky if you're not looking where you're walking. Anywho, like I said, I've been trying to keep these things short unless I got a guest. And, of course, with my last guest I had on, it was a great time. I had a great time. But here's some of the fuckery, and I couldn't figure it out how they did this until I just saw what came out with Facebook. And now I understand it completely. They just deleted it. They didn't strike my channel. They didn't do anything. They just deleted it. And I was like, well, normally I'd get a strike or something because I've gotten one before. And it got overturned 3 days later. But with this one, I saw what happened. And I understand what happened and who did it. And I know why. You know, you can only use fraudulent. Look, I'm an old troll. I've done this more than most people on the internet. And I know the long game too. But I also understand how to make a false page, how to make it look right. And once I know that there's some trolling afoot. So I don't get fooled. So anyways, and I never don't return the favor at some point. Anywho, with that being said, you guys know how I open it always with either a couple of songs from Axion Ghost, because he gives me permission to use his stuff. And I'm going to lead out with Inside Enemy Territory. And that's my ending always. Go to Axion Ghost page. Please look at the links in the description to everything I talked about tonight. Get more in-depth stuff. I wanted to give you my take on it. That's really all I wanted to do. Keep it nice, short, and succinct, and give you the links. If you enjoy what I do, go to my link on Subscribestar. Also, check out some of my back catalog. If you're new here, I'm glad you all stopped by my big orange couch. There's plenty of room for all 171 of you on my page in there. Grab yourself a coffee, grab yourself a tea, pop a soda, pop a beer, or any adult libation. I don't care. Just enjoy your time here. And remember, like, comment, and share. And if you don't like it, that's fine. I don't handcuff or put a gun to any of your heads. I like having you here, but if you don't want to be here, we didn't sign a contract, did we? Have a good night. God bless. Chef out.